Hello, people. You're welcome to ProUp Masterclass. My name is Tola T.A. Alabi. And in today's class, I'm going to do a little bit of teaching. And it's going to be a very um, faith based teaching. So I would like you to listen closely to this class. You'll benefit strongly from this class if you are a faith led person. If you're a faith-led person, very important. You benefit most benefit you get the most benefit from this class if you are if you have a Christian faith, because I'm going to make some references based on my faith. But I think generally, if you have faith in God, if you have faith in God, this is a class you want to listen to. I'm going to be talking about miracles. And I woke up this morning thinking about miracles, and I just thought to do this podcast on the subject matter of miracles and the misconceptions that we have about um, miracles, and if miracles still happen, and if we've kind of that word miracle, the word miracle has lost meaning in today's age. And that's because our sense of God has gotten weaker as the times have progressed, and man has become more self-reliant, um, to his own detriment, to his own frustration. And I think it's important that I talk about miracles today. And I'll tell you why. For the past week now, I've had a cough, a pretty nasty cough. Um, and you know, for me, for people that know me very well, a lot of people know I like to speak. I don't think that goes without saying. I like to speak. It's something I enjoy doing. I have a great interest in talking with people, in communicating. I send loads of VNs every single day, and it's not a burden for me. Um, I like speaking. If I don't have anyone to speak to, I talk to myself. So it's something I like to do. So a lot of people know that. A lot of people do know. There are a lot of people, and I think it's only my wife that knows this about me. My second big interest is to sleep. Um, I like sleep. I enjoy sleep. I think sleep is an incredible invention from God. Very, very great invention. Right up there with all the other pleasures that we enjoy. Sleep is right. I think sleep is very underrated. We don't thank God enough for the gift of sleep. It's so cool. I like sleep. But I'm not the kind of person that sleeps during the day all day. No, no, no. I'm not. But I enjoy my good night rest. To sleep at night, I don't joke with my sleep. You understand? If anything distorts my sleep, um, it makes me very cranky, very edgy. If I don't sleep for 2 days, I get very cranky. Like torture. Want to torture me? Just take away my sleep. I know I'll confess to what you want me to confess to. I don't joke with my sleep. So that's why I hate coughs. I hate having a cough, because a cough distorts those two things that I like to do. It distorts my speaking, and it distorts my sleeping. So I hate having a cough. It's always a nightmare. So for the past 1 week right now, I've had this cough, and it has disturbed me um sleeping well at night, and it has also disturbed a lot of my speaking engagements. You understand? I look at like I don't like when I'm having a speaking engagement and I have to pause to drink water and stuff like that. So I'm very I get very disturbed when I have coughs. And why I'm talking about this is because, since this cough started, I've been praying about this cough, and I just want it to go. I want the cough to go away. And That brought me to the subject matter of miracles. Um, you see, we have a misconception about miracles because we don't understand this thing called a miracle. I'm going to try to explain this in this class, and this will be for the benefit of someone out there who is losing hope. Um, First of all, I want to start by saying um, that miracles are divine happenings. They are acts of God, and they happen every single day. Every single day, a miracle happens. A miracle happens, and that's an understatement. Miracles happen. Miracles happen every single day. So when people say we don't miracles don't happen like they used to happen before, and this I'm talk about the Christian faith. People compare the Bible times and say, oh, people there were a lot of awesome miracles then. Miracles are not happening now, and some people try to come up with some theology why miracles don't happen now. I do not agree that miracles don't happen now. Miracles happen every single day. Every single day. A miracle is an act of God, a divine action that happens every single day. And we don't understand this because we don't understand that a miracle can be in two categories. So miracles have two broad categories. The first category is called signs, and the second category is called wonders. Signs, wonders. A lot of times we lump them together, signs and wonders. But they are two separate categories. So it's just like in life you can have um, animate objects and inanimate objects. You can have living things and non-living things. You can have plants and animals. You understand? You can have all those things, but we must remember that these things are groups. So miracles have two broad groups, two broad categories: signs and wonders. The problem is that we always get stuck on the wonders and we fail to see the signs. And because of that, we feel that God is not acting. And then we lose out on gratitude each day for God's action. Miracles are divided into signs and wonders. And I'll try to define both of them. Now, signs are those things that God does in small, comparatively small, incremental doses each day to get to an ultimate end, to get to a finished product. So God works on them incrementally in small doses, leading up to an eventual finished work. That's what that what signs are. So signs are those things that God does. He does them very little. Seems slow, but he's doing something incrementally. So it's getting better. And it leads up to a finished product. And when I say incremental, God could also be removing something, you understand, and making something decrease and diminish, but it doesn't diminish all at once. It's reducing it daily, till you get to an expected end. And that expected end, a lot of times, is where God wants it to be, which normally supersedes what we expect in our minds. So those are signs. Signs are things you need to watch closely, and that's why they're called signs. You need to look for the evidence. You need to look for it. It's easy to miss out on those small changes. Those things that seem negligible, but it's changing day by day. Do you understand? Day by day, it's changing. If you blink, you might miss it, and you might think nothing happened. But God He's doing something every single day. And before you know it, over a long period of time, you look back at it and you're like, whoa, when did this happen? Those are signs. Signs are the most abundant miracles in the world. Most abundant miracles in the world. Um, you like I have kids. When I look at my kids, I'm like, when did they grow to this level? So I look at my God, when did you grow this tall? I've been in the house with you now. I didn't travel, I didn't go away for a long period of time. When did you grow this tall? When did you become this big boy, this big girl? Those are signs. Do you understand? It happened incrementally every single day in small doses. You blink, you miss it. Now, wonders are on the other hand, are things that happen God's hand, those things that God changes drastically. Drastically. They are so fast that they can make your head spin. They are so fast. They are wonders. That's why I call them wonders. They kind of say, how did this happen? You understand? You are dumbfounded when it happens. That's like God going from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. You understand? Those things are wow. You understand? They are wow. So those things are fast actions of God that happen in a flash. They are dramatic. You understand? Very dramatic. And they are fewer than signs. They're fewer than signs in their occurrence in nature. Way fewer. But those are miracles that also happen, and they do still happen. You understand? Now, why I'm saying this is because, as I said earlier, a lot of us get stuck in the definition of a miracle by thinking all miracles must be wonders. You understand? So we miss out on miracles. We miss out on them because we expect everything to happen all at once right before our very eyes. And this particularly occurred to me when I had this cough. Prayed for it every night because it was so discomforting, affecting my speaking, affecting my sleeping. And I was praying, God, I want to feel better from this cough. Now, I wanted to feel better in a wonderful way. I wanted to wake up the next morning and the cough was gone. So every time I woke up the next morning and I still was coughing, or I had a terrible night of coughing, I feel bad that, oh, my prayers are not being answered. And I pray again, and then still there the next day. I was getting discouraged. And it now occurred to me that the reason you're getting discouraged is because you're not thinking of how you felt yesterday. You're not thinking of how you felt yesterday, comparing it to how you feel today. You're thinking of how you felt yesterday and how you ultimately want to feel. And because of that, you have no gratitude for how you're feeling today. I'll say that again. With this cough, I woke up every morning disappointed that it wasn't gone. And my spirit told me, or the Spirit of God told me, I am thinking too much of how I felt yesterday and not enough about how I'm feeling today. Because my expectation is how I want to feel eventually. And I'm comparing how I felt yesterday and hoping that I will feel the way I want to feel eventually today. And because of that, I'm not grateful for how I'm feeling today. So I have to ask myself each day, how do I feel today? Not how do I want to feel eventually, how do I feel today? And when I was honest with myself, I realized I felt slightly better than yesterday. Every single day I've woken up, I felt slightly better. And that was a miracle. And I was missing out on this miracle because I was so tunnel vision about how I wanted to feel eventually. And so I was not grateful for the small doses of incremental improvement that God was doing in my life. And it made me realize that health, coming to a place of fullness of health, is most times a slow process. It's slow. When you have an injury, it's slow. It takes some time for it be, to get back to a place where it's not noticeable anymore. Have an injury, whether it's scratch, a cut, whatever it is, it's slow. And it takes somebody who is intentional about looking at the signs of improvement, no matter how small, and holding on to that sign and saying, thank you, God, for this small sign. Thank you. Thank you for this small sign. That is the mustard seed. You understand? Thank you. I can see it's not bleeding anymore. It still hurts, but it's not bleeding anymore. I can still see the sign, but I can see a little bit of the scab forming on it. I can see it drying up. I can see it flaking off. You understand? It's that person that is intentional about looking at the signs that is grateful. You understand? When we refuse to look at the daily small doses of improvement that God does, we will miss out on gratitude for each day. And then we defer our happiness, our gratitude for the long run. And what normally happens, even if we even had enough awareness that in the long run, we came to a place of, God, thank you for leading me to this place over this past few months. You brought me to this end that I desired. That would be good. But a lot of times, because signs are slow, when the eventual thing happens, we are unaware. So we never come to even give thanks. You understand? So I'll use the same cough as an example. Incremental improvement every single day. It might take 2 weeks for it to totally vanish, or 3 weeks. But the problem is, because it's incremental and reducing every single day, I'm getting more and more and more distracted from it. That after the 3 weeks, I will not even remember that I had a cough in the first place. And so I never come back to say thank you, God, for this miracle of healing. And that's how people have massive miracles of healing that they never ever come back to say thank you for. Because it's so small doses. Before you know it, you've forgotten about it. Before you know it, it's not such an inconvenience. Before you know it, the fact that you are relieved from it is not such. Makes very little difference to you, and you're not grateful for it. So I had to learn that signs need us, number one, to compare how we feel today to how we felt yesterday, and hold on to, no matter how small, be thankful for that small improvement. Be thankful for that small improvement. Some months ago, my dog one of my dogs had a surgery, and when he had this surgery, the site of the surgery, they stitched it up, and so we had to put what's called an Elizabethan collar on it so it wouldn't go and lick it. Now that's another podcast on its own, because sometimes we humanize this dog so much, or this animal so much, that we don't understand that nature has already made a way for them. Now the dog hates that collar, and the surgery was on the leg, and so he hated that collar, and within days it had destroyed that collar. You understand? Totally destroyed it, taking it off just to lick the leg, because the instincts was telling him to lick the leg. So he was licking that spot every time. And at a point, it had licked the spot whereby the stitches had become loose. So we became worried that, hey, don't go and infect this thing. But then I I saw that the stitches had become loose, and I thought to call the vet, but then I held on, because I said, this dog is trying to do what's best for it. So let me see what's going on. And so when I called the vet, I even called the vet, but the vet couldn't come. So I had to hold on. And I realized the next day when I went to look at it, the site was still very red. You understand? Still very red, still very injured. But then I saw that it was the diameter had reduced a little bit. It was a very small sign, but I was, because I was fearful of it worsening the wound. I I I kept note of the size. But next day I came, it had reduced a little bit in redness and in size. So I paused a bit. I said, okay, let me look at it every single day. And I looked at it every single day um, for about 2 to 3 weeks. And I saw how this thing was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I realized that the dog was keeping it clean. The dog was doing a better job keeping it clean than the collar. You understand? So every time flies would try to come, to clean it for hours, and was keeping it sterilized. That even when the vet came, the vet was like, "Oh, this thing is actually improving." You understand? We don't need to put any collar on it. The dog seems to be taking care of itself. Nature is telling it to do the right thing. And now the place is totally healed. But it took almost a month, you understand, of something we could have easily missed out on if we didn't look at the signs. What I want to say is that stop looking for the wonders. Wonders happen, but they are few and far between. And nature has taught us that. Nature has taught us that. You understand? Wonders happen few and far between. Birth is not a wonder, it's a miraculous, it's a sign. You understand? It doesn't happen all at once. A woman doesn't have, or a couple doesn't have intercourse and have a baby the next day. If that happens, that's a wonder. But it's a sign miracle. You need to look out for the signs. First, the woman might have some morning sickness, and then there would be some other signs and stuff like that, some aversion to some types of food, some kind of smell and stuff like that. She begins to miss her period. Those are signs. And then you begin to see the abdomen area develop and extend and stuff like that. And then eventually this child comes out. It's a sign, a 9-month long miracle. Now, why I'm saying this is that health, there are some of you out there that have health challenges, and you've been praying. You say, I've been praying for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It hasn't gone. What I want you to do is take note of how you felt yesterday and compare it to how you feel today. Never compare it to how you want to feel. Compare it to how you actually feel. No matter how small, and I really mean this, no matter how small, be grateful for it. Be grateful. Hold on to that smile. Say, I feel this much. It's so small. Nobody's going to see it. In fact, it's not a physical thing. It's inside. I feel less pain today. I used to feel 24 hours of pain, but now I feel 23 hours, 58 seconds. Be that observant about the signs. There's a part in the Bible where Prophet Elijah was praying for rain, and he kept on sending his servant to go and look whether there's signs of rain. And the servant came back and said, oh, he hadn't seen anything. And all of a sudden, and Elijah went back to pray. And all of a sudden, because there had been no rain in Israel for a while, and Elijah was praying for God to bring back rain. And all of a sudden, the servant came back and said, oh, there's a small cloud the size of the fist of a man. Now, I don't think we understand that. Imagine your fist up in the sky. I don't care how big your fist is, but the sky is such a large expanse of of area in the world that I don't think anybody's fist should be of any significance. But immediately the servant was able to spot that. Elijah's servant was able to spot that. Elijah had hope. You understand? He knew that rain was going to come. And that's what I'm telling somebody right now. That small fist in that large expanse. You understand? Because rain was meant to cover the whole land. And when you're expecting rain, you expect it to be cloudy over a very extensive area of cover over the land. You understand? So it should be an extensive cloud cover, not a fist, size cloud cover. But then Elijah responded to a fist-sized cloud cover, and rain came eventually. Wonders happen, but signs are more current. Hold on to the signs of improvement in your life. Health is a slow process. I'll also have you know that wealth is also a slow process. Some of you are on the path of improved wealth, but the problem is they are looking for wonders. And this search for wonders is what leads a lot of people on to the path, or puts them on the path of crime and terrible things. You want your wealth to change, your wealth condition to change from from yesterday being very bad to what you want being incredibly good. No, it hardly happens that way. It hardly does. So calm down. Calm down. Take note of how you felt, or how much you had yesterday and how much you have today, or how you are able to manage what you had yesterday and your improvement in managing money today. You understand? Take note of those small things. You are doing a business. Oh, you want to have 50 clients per month. I don't know how people come up with these ridiculous things. Like, can you even handle 50? You understand? But people want, I want clients every day, day in, day out. You understand that kind of thing? Take note of the one that comes today. You understand? You want to be paid in dollars. Okay, be grateful for the person that's coming with 1K today, 1K naira. You understand? Be grateful for that. That's a sign of improvement. You didn't have 1K naira yesterday, but you have it today. A sign of improvement. You want clients, nobody has come buying your stuff. But take note of the person that is asking, how much does it cost? He hasn't paid money, but a sign of improvement is a fist in the sky. How much does it cost? Person that is saying, someone that is even asking, what do you do? What is this thing you're doing? What does it do? You understand? We are not thankful for those signs because nobody asked what you did yesterday. You understand? Be thankful for your signs. You're on social media, you want to grow your following or grow your engagement. Be thankful for that one person that followed you today, or that one person that dropped a comment. Stop comparing it to, oh, I want to have serious engagement, 100 comments every single day. No, be thankful for that one person that dropped a comment, that one person that dropped a like. You understand? That one person. Sign. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. When we start ignoring the signs, we start becoming ungrateful. That's what happens. We start becoming ungrateful. Stop ignoring the signs. Stop ignoring the signs. Miracles do happen. Miracles happen every single day. God is answering that prayer. I want you to know God is answering that prayer. You understand? You are not just looking at the signs. You understand? You're not just looking at the signs. And I'll tell you something. Even if you look at the signs today and you look tomorrow and it's still the same, thank God for the awareness of mind today to look at the signs. You understand? The awareness to be intentional to look at the signs. Very important that God has given you enough wisdom to compare yesterday to today, not yesterday to your eventual expectation. Be thankful for that. Say, God, thank you for making me aware enough of today to compare yesterday to today. Even though there is no difference, you understand? But there's a difference in my mentality, which used to be yesterday to the long run. You understand? Thank God for those small things. I realized that when I started to thank God for the small incremental improvement in my health, I started having a better day. Um, you know, if this were me many months ago, I wouldn't record a podcast till the cough was totally gone. Totally. But this morning I went out and my wife was like, "Are you going to record?" Yeah, yeah. And I knew what was on my mind, like, "Oh, you're coughing, no." But then I've recorded 3, even in the midst of this cough, and a lot of people would not even know. A lot of people do not know I've had to pause this podcast like about 6 times right now while recording to cough, because I'm grateful for the miracle of feeling better than yesterday. And that, because I'm so grateful, I'm like, I think I can go out and record something today. The last time I recorded, I paused the podcast like almost 20 times because I had to cough. You understand? But today it's like 6 times. That's much better. It's not a smooth flow yet, but it's much better than yesterday. And for that, I'm grateful. And I want someone here to look at your life this way. God is working every single day. He hasn't forgotten that prayer. He's working every single day. Yes, he can do a wonder. He can do a wonder. But he does signs most of the time, because the truth is that signs are more intimate. Signs need a daily walking with God. And then you and God are going back to check the books. How did you do today? You understand? Wonders, wonders don't really, to be honest with you, when Jesus was alive, he did a lot of wonders. Healed a lot of people. Wonderful healing. But you realize that when he was crucified, in the crowd, there were still those people. The people are saying, crucify him, kill him. Why can't he save himself? There's some of the people he did wonders for, because they didn't have an intimate relationship with him. Yeah, some months earlier, he had fed those people. Some of them were part of that 5,000, 4,000 that he fed, but they didn't have an intimate relationship. The people he did signs in their life, like Peter. Peter is a miraculous sign, because when Jesus met Peter, doubtful, brash, angry, kind of guy, and even till Jesus died, he was not a finished product. It took years and years and years and years for Peter to be refined into a rock. The miracle of Peter did not happen overnight. And that's why the depth of the relationship of Peter and the depth of gratitude Peter had for Jesus was deeper. That even when Peter was about to be killed, he said he was not worthy to be crucified the same way as Jesus. And he said they should invert the cross. They should put it upside down. He cannot die the same way. Do you understand? Because he has such an intimate relationship. He saw the signs of change in his life every single day, leading up to him being a rock of the church today. So I hope someone finds encouragement in this. God is still very involved in your life. Take time out to see the signs of God's hand.